Okay. Take it Tooblack. Today, we're gonna go back into the nature of things. Yeah, because it's kind of like a nice sunny day, and the weather management chemtrailing people have decided to allow us to have some sunshine today. So we are going to enjoy it. So probably do some sun gazing a little bit. However, you have to find the spot for it. So yeah, this is it. Take it Tooblack. Still on your monkey ass. Still telling you what time it is. For those who don't know what the game is, it's about time and about Chronos. That's why you have Time Magazine and you have Time Warner. Time Warner, right? Somebody warns you about time. Time is Chronos, as we've discussed before. And Chronos is the deity that is responsible for wasting your time. Okay, so you're gonna go over across the road and find a spot where we can chill. Normally, a good spot is this one here, where you come down and you sit on this bench and you look at the sunset or horizon, and you also look at the traffic. So today we're going to sit here and look at the traffic and see the options. You can either be in the traffic or outside of the traffic. And metaphorically, that means you can either be supportive of the devil man and his bogus BS nonsense, i.e. be in the traffic, or you can choose not to contract with the devil and don't put up with his BS, which means get out of the traffic jam or out of the rat race, right? The rat race is about Chronos, because Chronos is a guy who shocks you wide awake in the morning. So instead of waking up slowly, same way you go to sleep, what Chronos does is he wants you to wake up on alarm like a machine, and it's all some bogus crap. Yeah, so it's a lovely day today. So as usual, see these guys of the entire world, man. There's two people who appreciate. Yeah, so I'm gonna find a spot, take shoes off, and then burn that little tree. All right. So I think this is a good spot. So yeah, we were talking about Chronos and his time-wasting business. So that's the game. The game is to take a living man or a woman and to convince him or her that she is worth nothing but is a slave. It's called modern slavery, where somebody creates or manufactures a situation whereby they exploit you for your sweat equity, and they do this for their own commercial gain or financial profit. You see. So this is what we're talking about now. For 2018, as we all know, it's the time of apocalypse, and it's the time of the awakening. So all the liars are being called out, And they're finding it very difficult to get away with lying to the people. But they keep trying. So what's being revealed now is that your biggest, or your only adversary, so to speak, it's not the man or the woman next to you. It's an artificial intelligence called the municipality or principality. Nobody knows where this AI comes from or what its intentions are, but it's clearly not to defend or preserve the rights of the people. It's clearly to abuse and to manipulate the people. And the municipalities where we are, the ones who are responsible for doing it directly to the people, is the magician's court and the county court. This together with the corporate policy enforcers, that's how they're doing it. So this AI, artificial intelligence, call them monkey people, right, have decided that they that they own you, and that you're their slave, and that for your entire life you're going to be working for them so they can live in their mansions and their castles. Why? Because supposedly a few hundred years ago they murdered and killed hundreds of thousands of people. That's why. That's the claim to fame. So the rhesus factor monkey man is bogus. Is a bogus, fictitious character. And the people need to see these fictions for what they are and deal with them as fictions. They're not real, right? So the way you deal with a magician's court or county court or policy enforcer, all of these fake wannabe quasi administrative tribunals, these rubbish hearings. The point is you as a living man or a living woman, you want no part in their bogus proceedings, their fake proceedings. It's a waste of time. It's always about your time. They want to engage you in argument after argument, writing you letters after claim after claim. You have this bill and you haven't paid that and you haven't paid the other one. They're all made up. These bills are not real. These debts are not real. It's a state of mind. If you know who you are and you know the debts are not real, you can challenge these fools at every given opportunity. It's a matter of fear and conditioning, where people have trained you to believe that they have some authority over you or the superior, and they can write these court documents and send out to people which are unsigned and unsealed and have no legal validity whatsoever, and try and force these documents on living men and women on the land. Absolutely ridiculous. So these crooked so-called money changers have been doing this for a while. a few hundred years. So it's coming to an end. So it's time for the monkey man to pack up his files, shut down his computers, and go home. Yeah, because more and more people every day are waking up and realizing the deception. Okay? A magician's court has no authority either to hear any matter whatsoever without consent of both parties. That's number one. That is why they always teach you over the solicitor, because that denotes consent. Number two, a magician's court cannot render final judgment on any matter whatsoever. A magician's court is an administrative court, it's an inferior court. It can never render final judgment on any matter whatsoever. Everything that a magician does is always subject to judicial review in that jurisdiction. A magician is nothing. You cannot fear a magician. A magician is a dick. A dick judge. Right. So, how do you not contract with the devil? But just doing that. Because everything the devil is going to bring to you is going to ask you one thing. Okay? One thing only. Sign here. Put your signature here. That's the only thing the devil is going to ask you. Right? So what I'm saying is be very careful what you sign. Take time to read the small print. Everything is contract. All law is contract. Okay? If your signature is not on the documents that they're trying to enforce, that's unlawful and illegal. Right? You need to know who you are. You need to know what the law is. All law is contract. Nowadays, it's only commerce. There's not a law. It's only commerce going on. If you don't know that and you believe that there's a man called a judge or the law society who are there to represent you and your ignorant monkey ass, you're going to keep dreaming. Everything is commerce. Everybody wants to make money out of your Citus trust accounts or the fiduciary accounts, or they call now the secret trusts. Ask your solicitor about the secret trusts and see how his face changes. Yeah. So, raising vibration. Once you've got rid of the monkey, now you have time in your hands. What do you do? 3 things. Number one, intent. Number 1, it's called virgin thoughts. You need to have clear intent or pure intent or pure thoughts. By pure thoughts, I don't mean the morals of the Catholic Church. I'm not talking about those pure thoughts. Pure thoughts means thoughts that have not been thought before. Virgin thoughts. Outside the box. So you don't think of something you thought about before. You go into meditation, which means you empty your mind, and once you get to a certain point, you're going to get new ideas that you never thought about before. That only happens when you have an empty mind. So you want to get to that position. So you need to get away from the television set and away from all these argumentative people who have all these opinions and they know everything. And you need to find a quiet spot by yourself and go into yourself and stop all the chatter in your brain if you can. It might take a while to get used to it, but once it happens, it's beautiful. So once you get to that quiet spot, you're going to get virgin thoughts, and those virgin thoughts are very powerful and creative and inspirational. That's what you're looking for. Okay, so that's number 1, right? The intent has to be clear. So whatever you're going to do, the intent has to be clear or pure intent. And pure intents also revolve around ideas that benefit many people in general, so not selfish ideas. If your intent is only to benefit yourself, of course it's gonna work, because everything works. However, the impact is not gonna be that big. So whatever pure thoughts you want to have, try and have the thoughts that encompass everyone else, so the whole, not just you as an individual. All right, so that's number one, pure intent, pure thought. And you get that through meditation and going into yourself. There's nothing external, everything is internal. So you go internal, create it, and then make it external. But initially everything is internal. Everything that ever came to be was always internal. All right, number one. Number two, you need to get sleep. All right, the monkey man, he's here to keep you busy. He doesn't want you to sleep, because if you do sleep and you have enough sleep, you're going to go into different zones or different levels of consciousness. So for instance, you're going to go below the beta and the alpha states, and you're going to go into the excuse me a minute. Yeah, you're going to go into the other zones, the theta and the delta. And if you go even the fifth zone, then that's where you connect with the creator. It's through the sleep. All right, so the monkey man is going to keep you busy. He won't want you to sleep. He'll tell you you have to do this thing now all the time. You're always busy, you're always running around. He doesn't stop. It's a rat race. All right, the point is to get out of that rat race, right, by having enough sleep. In 24-hour cycle, for instance, 24 hours a day, if you say you're going to sleep for 8 hours and you're going to work for 8 hours, you still have 8 hours to fuck around and do anything else. So you always have time, and people complain they don't have time. What the hell are you doing? If you sleep for 8 hours and you work for 8 hours every day, you still have 8 hours left. So you can sleep for 10 hours and still have plenty of time to do whatever else you need to do. So you do have time. All right? So sleep deprivation is another way that the monkey man uses to stay on your back. All right? And finally is the diet, specifically hydration. Because your body is, I'd say, electric, or the signals that your nerves send up and down your body are electric signals. And the best conductor of electricity is water. So if you have more water in your system, the easier the signals. The more dehydrated you are, the slower the signals. So the point is, hydrate yourself as much as you can. In fact, if you could live off that, just don't eat anything. If you could, just drink water. But hydration. But eventually, we want to get to a point where we don't need anything. We just breathe air. But that takes training or belief, or you need to train your children so they can do these things from young. You need to instill the belief in them as children that they can do this thing. They don't need to eat every day. They can breathe and still be alive. Once this belief is ingrained into the DNA of the children, then yes, nobody will need to eat anymore. So the monkey man won't be able to charge you for food that it didn't create. The food that grows naturally, the self-propagating. He's going to charge you for it. Yet a rat doesn't need to pay for food, and yet a man who is created in the image of God has to pay for food. How ridiculous. Why? Because a corporation sets up some ridiculous, good-for-nothing, institutional racist, for-profit corporation told you so. And you believed them. Yeah. So yeah, so that's where we are today. Back in the nature of things. Today we're gonna go do sun gazing, and it's gonna be down here. So yeah, I'm gonna get off this phone and stare at this thing for a minute and see if there's anything in there. I wonder if that's the real sun, or is that the sun simulator they have up there today. But there are no. Oh, there's only one. There's 1, 2, 3, or 4. There's 4 lines of chemtrails, that's all. But yeah, so take it Tooblack. Still in the nature of things, and somebody's driving his motorcycle behind me very loudly. Alright? So yeah, so get out of the traffic. Get out of the traffic jam. If you're in the traffic, you cannot complain about all these idiots causing a traffic jam. Alright? Yeah, so take it Tooblack.